All I got is missed calls on my line, yeah, never.
Bring the energy. Here we go. What's up, guys? Welcome into the Missed Call Podcast. I'm your host, Colby Marshall, and alongside me is always the bearded fellow next to me, Ryan Sartori. Hello, Ryan. Happy Tuesday.
I'm trying to turn my ring light up. Can I also be the host? Is that okay?
No.
Okay.
You're the co-host.
Okay. I'm
the
just
assistant of the host.
Alongside for the
today
ride,
we'll be
baby.
talking about sports, nonsense, and Ryan, you can take it from here since you're the co-pilot.
Yeah, exactly. We're off the ground, and now the co-pilot flies for the rest of the flight.
Yep.
So we usually start off with clown shit, is what we have in our document. It says clown shit to start the show, which means we're down to clown.
Classic.
We're down to clown. I would like to start in an area where there are many clowns, and that is the Chicago Bears fandom. I'm just going to come out hot. I'm going to get this out of the way.
I'm
going to get this out of the way.
No more Bears talk after this.
No more Bears talk after this.
Deal. Don't worry, guys. Mine isn't Bears related.
I'm gonna try to get this done with brevity and conciseness or concision or whatever.
Let's get this done before the 5-minute mark, please.
Bears fans are fucking stupid.
We've known this.
It's almost a scientific fact at this point. We know this team is terrible. We know the leadership.
Do they?
No. We know this team is terrible.
I've been saying that for months.
We know the leadership group in place right now is not good, especially the coaching, especially the ownership. We don't criticize enough Bears fans for dumb shit. It starts with Luke McCowan versus Jay Cutler. It moves into the argument that we had with Trubisky versus the other fellow whose name escapes me at this time.
Mike Glennon?
Maybe it was Mike Glennon. And now we're at the new era of this stupid conversation of Justin Fields versus Tyson Bagent.
It's Bagent.
There are too many fans, specifically Bears fans, who fall into this dumb concept all the time that somehow the dude on the bench is going to be better than the guy that we have starting. I don't know if you know this or not, but the Bears have never had a good starting quarterback, and any modicum of good quarterback play that they've had, they've ruined.
Really?
I.e. Jay Cutler, i.e. what could have been with Trubisky, i.e. Justin Fields. Like the talent that they have, they spoil. They don't deserve to have a good quarterback. So what makes anybody think that Tyson Bagent is going to be the answer at quarterback? I saw some stupid, idiot, dumb, awful, terrible Bears fan post that Tyson Bagent could be our Brock Purdy. What would give you any sort of inclination that Tyson Bagent is going to be that guy? It's a stupid wish. It's a stupid prayer. It's a dumb idea to have. Tyson Bagent played Division II football and was undrafted. Brock Purdy played in the Big 12 against actual NFL caliber talent. There's no way that Tyson Bagent's going to be the guy. I told you, I'm coming in hot for this episode because there's too much dumb. There's too much dumb, and the Bears fans are the thing that are going to send me over the edge because they think they know, and they don't.
So when Tyler Bagent got into the game on Sunday, I tweeted out Badgett time, and then in my group chat with the creator of batters-box.com, Michael Montgomery, he snapped at me and goes, "How come you're not criticizing him after that turnover?" And I go, "He's not a top 10 fucking pick. First of all, sorry for my language. He's not a first round draft pick.
No.
Why would I get up in arms over a guy who was undrafted, played Division II football, Why would I get up in arms? I'm going to get up in arms over a guy who is supposed to be legit and holds the ball for an hour and a half and then doesn't know what he's doing and has no confidence in himself because the organization has failed him.
The Bears Instagram page, after Tyson Bagent was put in the game, after the Bears lost the game, these are some of the comments that I was able to scrounge up in the comment section. Is this our guy? No. Another person, not gonna lie, Tyson is doing good. Yeah, he throw an interception, but he's a rollie. I think he meant rookie, playing for the first time. Give him a few weeks and he's goated. Surpassed Justin Fields in 1 quarter. Somebody said, finally, y'all gave him a chance. Tyson Bagent time. Could be our Brock Purdy. Shut the fuck up. No, he will not be. No, he won't. He will be another fart in the long windstorm that is the Chicago Bears quarterback room and the Chicago Bears organization as a whole. Shut up. No, he won't. It's the same thing as Cutler versus McCown. It's the same thing as Trubisky versus Foles. It's the same thing now as Fields versus Bagent. It started in the preseason. I remember listening to a call on talk radio where somebody said, maybe this is our Tom Brady. You're jumping to Tom Brady?
Dude, I love this so much.
Clown shit to start the show.
Maybe I would be shocked if a lot of people knew his backstory, but it's kind of cool. Like, he was unreal in Division II. He's one of those guys that was like so good in Division II, like, hey, why don't you transfer? But like made it to the pros. But to make those assumptions and like wishes, like Brock Purdy is a diamond in the roughest of rough. And people still don't respect him. He's still not respected. But Tom Brady, you gotta be smoking that Kool-Aid.
Colby.
You're not even drinking the Kool-Aid. You're smoking it.
You're loading that shit up in a pipe and smoking that shit.
You're freezing it and then you're
Colby.
smoking it. Yes.
Brock Purdy to start his career, by the way, in a system that is designed for quarterbacks to
just
be
had his first
good,
loss.
Just had his first regular season loss. He won 7 regular season games in the stead of Jimmy Garoppolo. Took the team deep in the playoffs and just like this Sunday had his first regular season loss.
I don't like how people are like, he's not that good. Like, who cares?
He doesn't need to be. He doesn't need to be good. He needs to facilitate the offense, and he does well.
I know this is like a Bears topic, but I would like to just say that I don't really respect people who go out of their way to crap on an athlete that has done nothing wrong and is having success, but they're like, well, he's not Patrick Mahomes. Who cares? He's not a hateable player.
Nobody's ever going to be Patrick Mahomes, right? Like, nobody ever is going to be that guy.
Do you know what? This will segue us out of this because I'm going to talk about my dad real quick, even though that's not where we're going with my
That's
clown
fine.
stuff.
Let's talk about Phil.
My dad has not had channels in forever. My dad hasn't had channels to watch sports in so long. He doesn't know how good Patrick Mahomes is.
What?
He has no idea.
So this is the guy that when Chris Collinsworth starts saying, hey, here's a guy that you only don't know about him if you're living under a rock, right? You know, this is the guy right here.
My dad
He's the next generational guy.
Clue.
That's crazy.
And my dad loves sports. He's the reason why I'm doing this today, got me into it, why I love college football and all of football.
Yeah.
He has no clue how good
That's
Patrick
hilarious.
Mahomes. All right.
Real quick, I do just want to
up.
say Tyson Bagent, the person, I'm sure is a fine person. And while we don't know anything really about Tyson Bagent yet as a football player, and I'm open to having my mind changed and open to being an idiot. Like, I'm open to being the guy who's like, remember when he yelled about
Stop
Tyson
doing
Bagent
this
not
as your
being
voice.
good? I'm open to all of those things. with what we know right now and the large data set of what we have from not only Bears quarterbacks, but NFL quarterbacks as a whole, Tyson Bagent will not be successful. Curb your expectations and expect the worst. Hold on to your butts and get ready for Caleb Williams.
When was the last? I don't want Caleb Williams now after seeing him against Notre Dame. But when was the last time the Bears evaluated a quarterback that became, or any position that was a diamond in the rough? Devin Hester? Devin Hester? Come on.
Now you got me thinking.
Devin Hester. Matt Forte.
Depending on how he progresses, I mean, it hasn't been like this massive jump to the top of the leaderboards. Braxton Jones is fine, and he was a 5th-round pick. They do it a lot with running backs, though none of them are like all pro.
I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying guys that went to you could just say guys that went to a small school. I get diamond in the rough is like you found.
Tariq Cohen had the league by storm for a bit.
Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here.
But like what is your definition of being a diamond in the rough? Like how much success do you have to be classified diamond in the rough?
Well, my initial thought was Hall of Famer Hester. I don't even know when Hester was drafted.
That's actually a good point.
I've never had to think about that.
And I was too young to know the general success and hype surrounding Brian Urlacher, but I know like not much comes out of New Mexico State.
He was a safety that turned into a linebacker.
Right. So I mean, like, I don't know. This would be a rabbit hole conversation that I would like to table for the future. I'm going to write this down somewhere, and I'm actually going to research this, and we'll come back to it. I want to know about your clown shit.
Okay, so Haman Shumpert was in studio today. He was in the office because he was on our NBA special for Inside the Association at Stadium.
That's cool.
Now backstory. I bring bell peppers to lunch, and I eat them like apples, and everyone loses their mind, as if that is the weirdest thing they've ever seen.
Do you slice them first?
No, I eat it like an apple. I don't use so then I'm not having to clean up something, and I don't have to waste plastic. I'm just eat it and throw it away. You think that's weird?
Yes,
think about it. It's like an apple. Think about it.
No, I think it's actually weird.
Okay, well, this is the second time in the last 8 months that Shumpert's been in the office. So the first time, which was I think May he was in. I was eating it, and I was like, I was like, I know he's gonna say something to me. So when he first came in, I was eating it. He was having the meeting, and then he comes up and he goes, "Man, I know you ain't eating that like that." He comes up and dashes me up. I was like, "Hey, Shump, how you doing?" He goes, "Now you crazy, man. You crazy eating that like that." I go, "How?" So then I was like, "I got another one in the back if you want one." And he's like, "Nah, man, I'm good. Today, he's in the office. I go, "Shump, I got a red one in the back if you want a pepper." He goes, "Man, get the hell out of here." and other people in the office are like, "He's not going to remember you." I go, "He will remember the pepper guy. He will remember him." So then I dapped him up. I was like, "How you doing, Shump? How you been?" He goes, "I'm good." He goes, "In Barbados, they use those as like bowls, right?"
Yeah, we do it here too. It's called stuffed peppers. White moms love it.
I was like, I don't understand why you think it's crazy. I'm like, it's portable. And he rolls over on the couch that we had. He was dying. He goes, portable. I go, it is portable.
Yeah, but it's not. I don't know. I guess you're technically not wrong. It's just abnormal to eat a bell pepper as though it is some sort of fruit.
It is a fruit.
It is a fruit. I was just going to say, it is a fruit.
That's why I'm just blown away that people freak out. It's a fruit. It's got seeds.
Isn't it funny though how like you think vegetable when you think bell pepper for whatever reason?
Well, like tomato, that's a fruit too. Like I don't understand why it's like how we have like this. We're gonna go down a rabbit hole now. I don't understand why we have these categories of fruits and vegetables when a majority of these vegetables are fruits.
Yeah,
tomatoes.
I mean, honestly, when I think of like a graphic of vegetables,
those are the vegetables.
Or if you're saying it right, vegetables,
vegetables.
Yeah, it's like tomatoes are on there in my mind, bell peppers are on there in my mind. Cucumbers are on there in my mind for whatever reason.
Those have
All of
seeds!
those things are fucking fruit.
Those
All
have
of those
seeds!
things are fruit. Does that make pickles fruit?
It's a cucumber. Yeah.
Pickles are fruit.
Pickles are fruit.
And they're 0 calories. I would like to introduce a new segment to the show. A lot of times, at least in this new iteration of the show, what we've been finding is there's a lot of stories that we don't get to cover because they don't necessarily fall in to a category. They don't necessarily fall into what we want to talk about that day. So I'm just opening up something called Missed Calls. It's the Missed Call podcast, and these are the missed calls. They're stories that throughout the course of the week you may have missed. We don't have to go into great depth on them, but they are things that I think are worth bringing up on the show. Yes, Colby.
I would like to also add, Ryan wrote these down and didn't want me to know what they were. So guess what? I'm learning too, except for one of them.
Right. One of
Actually,
them, the last one.
Of them. I know the middle one too.
The last one is going to be probably the biggest discussion point. But first of all, relief pitcher Trevor May retires from Major League Baseball after 16 years in the league. Past couple of years, he's been throwing in Oakland. And in his retirement Twitch stream, he addressed the owner of the Oakland Athletics, John Fisher, and amongst other things, told him to sell the team, you nerd. Which there's no other way.
Guy.
There is no way to come back from somebody calling you a nerd. What do you say? No, I'm not. You are. I'm not a nerd. You're the nerd.
That's like one of those words you can't come. It's that loser, dork. Dork is one of them.
Dork is, dude. Dork.
Hold on. I got to tell a quick story. One time my dad called somebody a dork and I made fun of him for the rest of the day. He like screamed at some dude in the street. He goes, "Shut up, you dork."
You got to use it right. You got to use it right. Because if you just throw dork around as your main insult, then like you're the dork. Does that make sense?
That's
but like a beautifully thrown in dork, nerd, loser, like any of those, like those work really well. Dweeb. Oh, geek. Yeah, you dweeb. That's impressive. That's a good one.
I think dweeb would end my career.
Dweeb. Yeah. All right.
Call me dweeb.
Duly noted. But yeah, so obviously the A's are moving the team to Vegas, and there's a lot of players, there's a lot of fans that are all hopeful that John Fisher somehow reverses his decision, even though that there are a lot of steps. We're already a lot of steps down that path of going to Vegas. I don't think it's going to happen, but it's cool to see a player retire and be like, hey, I got number 1 and number 2 for you right here, buddy. Sell the team, you nerd. Next on the list, and this is pretty cool, the San Francisco Giants assistant coach, Alyssa Nakin, was formally interviewed for the San Francisco managerial spot, which I think is very cool. Not only would she become the first ever female manager in Major League Baseball, this is the first time a woman has ever been, to our knowledge, this is the first time a woman has ever been interviewed for the lead jerseyed position in Major League Baseball. This is the first time anybody's ever been interviewed for a managerial spot as a woman, which I think is super cool.
I think it'd be super cool if she got the job, 1. 2, pulled the Jim Leyland and wore cleats. Remember Jim Leyland was the only manager to wear cleats?
Jim Leyland was also the only manager that ripped cigarettes in the dugout, or at least the last manager that ripped cigarettes in the dugouts. Dude was pulling heaters.
If Alyssa starts ripping heaters, I'm gonna have to become a new fan.
The Twitter account Fake Dan Ugla tweeted this morning and said,
he's such a forgotten player. I'm sorry, continue.
Dan Ugla, dude, I know. But this is Fake Dan Ugla tweets in response to this story. He says, "I hate this. The Giants will be unstoppable with a woman running things." He said, "I used to eat ice cream at 3 a.m. before I put a woman in charge of my life. These dudes are going to be using coasters and batting .350 all season long."
What?
He's saying before he got married, he used to eat ice cream at like 3 a.m. and just do random willy-nilly shit. He said if you put a woman in charge, these guys are going to be using coasters and manners and batting .350 for an entire season. I thought it was funny to share. But inevitably there are the trolls, there are the idiots, there are the dumbos.
Yeah, but they never get liked. they're just in the comments. It's not like, ooh, this one's going to get traction. They're just in the comments.
It's just upsetting that those people exist. And I know that you'll never be able to get rid of them. They're kind of a cancer that continuously spread and think that they're funny and try to gain clout. This is a good thing for the game. I've always said baseball is for everyone. If an organization thinks that Alyssa Nakin is a person that can responsibly, rightfully, and with command lead a locker room, they think she's the right one for the job, they're going to do their research. They're going to weigh out all the options. They will go through all the sociology of it all to try to figure out, like, would this work? Would the players like it? Will there be the dynamic there? Like, they're going to do their research. You don't have to be a sexist piece of shit in the comments in order to make yourself heard. Have a real thought for once,
Yeah, I don't see how anyone would have a problem with it. I think the only issue they would have, actually, if this was any other sport, the biggest problem they would have would be the NHL, because they're just having problems everywhere.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's another forgotten story from the past couple of weeks. Is that the NHL banning tape and banning gay, essentially. Like, not saying you can't be gay in the NHL, but they've banned Pride nights.
You know what? Since becoming a fan of hockey and trying to gain some of that niche on my timeline on Twitter, there are a lot of fans from the LGBTQ community, and I didn't even know that. I've gone to a Blackhawks Pride night, and those games are packed.
Yeah.
Packed, Ryan.
Yeah.
And we all know the atmosphere at hockey games. It's typically conservative. I'm blown away that it's I would say 50-50.
Yeah, I am not plugged in to the NHL.
I'm not fully.
I'm
just going off what I've seen and experienced. It's shocking that you would think there's such a old school-esque run organization that their fan base is very left wing,
progressive, modern.
I was trying to think of the word progressive. Sorry.
So yeah, NHL players and stakeholders respond to the league's ban on Pride tape and specialty jerseys. They didn't just categorically say no more gay stuff. They also said no more specialty warm-ups as well, to try to lump in all these things together and make it seem like, well, we're just saying that there can't be anything fun. So there's that. Deal? I do have more to talk about the NHL coming up in just a little bit. But the last one, I'm going to let you take the lead on. I have to grab a phone charger or else I will lose my mind. But Kim Ng and resigning from the Marlins. Take it away.
Oh, she resigned? I thought she got fired.
Guess more than resigning. She was not fired. It was a mutual parting between ways. She had the mutual option in her contract, and the Marlins agreed to have her back, but she said no thank you because they wanted to hire a boss ahead of her as the president of baseball operations. Kim Ng, in that situation, had she opted into her deal, would have been the second in command to a team that she had just brought to the playoffs in a full season for the first time in 20 years. I'll be right back.
I was going to say, she is someone who's been in the MLB working in front offices since the 90s with the Yankees. She was there with the core four, I believe, with the Jeter, Andy Pettitte, Jorge Posada, Mariano Rivera. This is a woman that has been in it and knows what she's doing. Obviously, like Ryan said before he went and got his Charger, that she is part of the reason why the Marlins just made it the playoffs. And they were a very exciting team. Hello, Ryan.
Categorically, I agree. Yes.
Did you hear all that?
No.
Oh my God. I said she's been in the league working in front offices since the 90s with the core four at the Yankees.
Yeah.
I said this is someone who knows what she's doing and has proven it with what she's done with the Marlins, who were arguably one of the more exciting teams this past season as a young squad that is trying to build something special. They got Josh Bell. They have Jorge Soler. They have whatever Jazz Chisholm wants to be.
those things aside, right? You say Josh Bell, Jorge Soler, those are stopgap dudes. Like, this is a team at the end of the day that is on the rise because they have young talent kind of laden all over the place. They've got great young
Sandy
pitching.
Alcantara.
That is a phenomenal start. Although Sandy's going to miss all of 2024 with a Tommy John surgery, they are still well insulated at starting pitcher to maintain success throughout next year. They have Luis Ariz. They have Jake Berger. They have guys in place that are young and on team control. That Kim Ng is a big reason why they have these players.
And they're fun.
They're fun.
Like the thing is, if you could be a bad sports team, but if you're fun and people will want to go to your games, that's a plus. And sometimes that's hard. Being bad,
yes.
Being bad and fun, that's hard. It's hard.
Being bad and fun is hard. You are correct.
Unless Ryan, you're the Chicago Bears. You're fun every week for some reason.
Well, no, you're just bad every week. But yeah, again, you look up and down the roster. There's young. There's this youth. You talk about like Jordan Goshens, Xavier Edwards, Garrett Hampson, but they also have some older dudes on the team as well who provide a lot of stability. Yuli Gurriel was huge this year. Joey Wendell was huge this year. I'm just kind of looking up and down and being reminded of
Garrett
some
Cooper,
of the older.
The GOAT.
Garrett Cooper. Just being reminded of some of these dudes that are on this team that have been very good. Brian De La Cruz had moments of really great play this year. Awesome. Jesus Sanchez was really good this year. So you've got guys on that team. Again, Kim Ng is a big reason why any of these dudes are here. And they're like, we're going to give you a boss. And rightfully, Kim Ng was like, I'm out. I see a lot of White Sox fans, because of the news of Kim Ng being out, that they were like, we didn't wait. We could have had Kim Ng, and now Chris Getz is here. Like, there's so many ways that the White Sox
Chicago, baby, up and up.
Hiring.
Up and up.
Got a couple of different ways we can go here. We can continue on the baseball conversation, or we can go to hockey.
All right, give me the hockey.
You want hockey? All right.
What do you got?
The first week of Connor Bedard in the NHL is in the books. And while I am not a huge hockey consumer, I have taken in a bit of the Connor Bedard entry into the NHL. The question I want to ask you is, do you find it at all weird how they have treated Connor upon entry to the league? Like the referee welcoming him on opening night and recorded promos and stuff like that. Do you find any of that a bit odd? Because that doesn't happen other places. Joe Burrow didn't get, Ed Hockley walking up to him and being like, hey, Joe, welcome to the league.
But Joe Burrow wasn't the Victor Wembanyama of hockey or of football. I'm sorry.
Do you think that one of the officials is going to walk up to Wemby on opening night and be like, Victor, welcome to the NBA, bud?
But do we know that?
What do you mean?
Like, just because there's one clip of a ref or saying, hey, you're going to have a good career, that doesn't mean it's never happened before to other athletes.
That's true. But I'm saying specifically miking up the referee, telling him to turn his mic on, and also instructing him to welcome Sidney Crosby back for another year. Connor, welcome to the NHL, just to like kind of have this like clip. I don't know. Apparently the NHL has done a lot of studying on how fans want to receive the sport. Should they promote more NHL teams? Should they promote more NHL players? And what they found after a long study is that they should be promoting players, which is why we've seen what we've seen with, the promo leading up to the Blackhawks Penguins game, where Sidney Crosby's sitting down right across from Connor Bedard. And that was their promotion of the game, was Crosby versus Bedard. And then to start the game, Bedard, having the referee tell him things. And I even saw a clip the other day where Connor is getting ready to do a face-off, and he is mic'd up with the referee, who is who's telling him,
he's like, I suck at these. I haven't made.
He's
one
like,
yet.
yeah, I haven't got a face-off all year. And the referee's like, really? Well, you're going to get plenty of them before your career is over. And I just think that it's interesting, right? And we get a front row seat to it as Chicago fans. We get to see all the different ways that the NHL is going to try to make this kid their focal point moving forward with this new branding, so to speak, on how they're going to present their players.
I also think it's funny how hockey works because the Blackhawks have played 4 games now and have yet to play a home game. Isn't that awesome?
That doesn't make sense. I think the only other place that happens is baseball, but a lot of times that's because you're on a 2-city road trip and then you come home. And so you might come back, after 6 games and have your opener. That's normal. But like football, you don't go more than 2 games without your home opener. Basketball, you don't go more than 2 or 3 games without your home opener. The Blackhawks started in Pittsburgh and are currently in Toronto and might be coming home at some point. I don't know.
Hockey's fun. I like it.
It can be. I think hockey is best consumed like baseball in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's true. Everyone always says playoff hockey is the best.
And playoff baseball, as the resident Stitchhead, playoff baseball is the best way to take in baseball. And I think last year's playoffs, this year's playoffs somehow have been elevated. They seem bigger than they have in past years.
At least it's not the 2021 playoffs where every game is 9.5 hours long.
Yeah. Again, the pitch clock and all the different things that they've done for pace of play has really helped out. Because I went to a White Sox game versus the Astros 2021.
Where that 9-hour game?
I was at that game.
I had to cover that game.
I was at that game. It sucked. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. But it was terrible. You are the biggest Texas Rangers homer I know.
Not a homer. I love them.
He's a fan.
I love them. I think as a sports fan, if your team does not make the playoffs, you can pick whoever you want. And I happened to pick the Rangers back in June. I love this team top to bottom. You can't stop this team once it gets rolling. You can't stop Adolis Garcia. You can't stop Corey Seager. You can't stop Jonah Heim. You can't stop Nathaniel Lowe. You can't stop full count Evan Carter. You can't stop any of them. And they battle. Ryan, how many games have you watched? Have you watched all the Rangers games?
I've watched all the ALCS so far. They grind.
How many times? It's not that they're good hitters. They battle their asses off at the plate. Yeah. Every at bat feels like it's going 10 pitches. They battle,
and in
especially
doing that,
Evan Carter.
You see more. You wear another team down. You're seeing more. You're spoiling good pitches. You're finding the bad pitches. You're increasing the data set that you see from any one baseball
thrower. They're the
thrower.
sexiest team in baseball.
Yeah.
Sure, you wrote down that the Phillies are the team of destiny or what it feels like. But this team, man, you can't doubt. The thing about baseball in the playoffs, for me at least, is you can't doubt the hot team until they prove that they're cold. Because time and time again, as someone who looks at the odds every single day, the Rangers have been dogs every single game this series, and they have won. Now they're coming home. Now they're like minus 130 to win. What is it, tomorrow? Right? Tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow. Well, today when you hear this, but yes.
Yeah, today. When you hear this today, the Astros are plus money to win if you're an Astros fan.
Yeah. Well, the Astros, to their credit, are a team that fights too, right? Like we saw game 2, they battled. They were down 5-1, battled back 5-4. And that is kind of where we see where the Rangers have improved so much and why they are on the run they're on. Have they lost a playoff game yet?
No.
And a big part of that is because this is a team that throughout the course of the year batted .263. They
don't make errors. They don't make errors.
But where they struggled was in the bullpen.
Yes.
This was something that was so bad for them. I mean, just at a surface area, looking at like the bullpen, ERA 4.7, which was 24th in Major League Baseball.
Blame Adolis.
Who?
All right, Adolis.
Aroldis.
Sorry. I love Adolis Garcia. Sorry. I love Adolis.
But okay, so bullpen ERA 4.7 was towards the bottom in Major League Baseball. They have a 2.01 right now. They had 33 blown saves, third most in baseball, none in the playoffs. They had the worst save percentage in baseball at under 48%. They're 3 for 3 now in the postseason. Like this is what we talk about when we say get hot at the right time. The Rangers bullpen is just simply getting super hot right now. And it matches an offense that never really got super cold. Maybe a stretch there towards like the ass end of July, early August. But like for the most part, this has been an unstoppable team. Yeah.
Sexy.
Jordan Montgomery looks really good in the postseason. Nathan Eovaldi comes alive for the playoffs.
Did you see that graphic they had of him with like when the bases were loaded, he had no outs,
runners in scoring position, nobody out.
Yeah. His opponent's batting average is like 180.
Yeah, I think they said statistically he is the best. He is the best in baseball with runners in scoring position and nobody out.
He says, "Oh, you want to play?" Dude, this team is awesome. I've never liked a team this much that wasn't my own team. Like, I don't know what to say. I'm obsessed with this team. I've been wanting them to make the World Series since June. I've been wanting them to win since June. I said they were going to win the World Series in June. This is my pick. This is the team. You can't, unless they get cold for some reason, or if they just get shelled at the bank. Hot team.
This is just like an all-around good offense. Like I'm just kind of like marveling at their baseball reference right now as we're talking about them. And like
amazing.
They were number 1 in the AL in hits, number 2 in doubles, number 1 in home runs. They were second in stolen bases, it looks like. Or 14. Oh, no. Never mind.
They're not a stealing team.
Back that truck up. But they're also number 1 in batting average, number 1 in on-base percentage, number 1 in slugging, number 1 in OPS. Like this is just a crazy
like 4
juggernaut.
All-Stars.
Right. Well, this is just a crazy juggernaut offense team, and those usually go away in the postseason because, of course, they do. The pitching gets better. It's a long season in the books, and they just continue to like be awesome because they have a bullpen to support them. They don't have to put up 8 runs in a postseason game to win. They can get away with 5,
but they
can get away with 3. Right. So,
but I think we need to pour one out for a guy who should be out there right now, Jacob deGrom.
Oh yeah.
Imagine, Ryan. That is something we're missing out on.
Do the Rangers trade for Scherzer midseason if deGrom is healthy? Because Scherzer's been in the mix for them. Now in the postseason, he's at least getting back and getting healthy, and he'll be in the mix for them now.
3. Yeah,
right.
He starts game 3.
Interesting.
Christian Javier, game 3. Ooh, I'm terrified.
Christian Javier is not a bad pitcher. Don't go spitting on him. Obviously, you're a big Texas fan. I'm in love with what Philly's doing right now. And yes, I did say in the doc,
you can't hate them either.
You can't. There's no way to, unless you are from Atlanta or if you are from Arizona right now. This, again, I did say, is the team of destiny right now. Like it is weird to think that the past couple of years, it feels like the power of friendship matters in some regard, right? Like I swear to God, the Nuggets are very, very good, but they also seem like a group of dudes that just loved being together. The Miami Heat from a few years ago seemed like, they're a good group of guys. They're talented, but like they all just seemed like best of friends. The Phillies are the same way the past 2 years. They're using the power of friendship to get to the postseason and possibly get to the World Series again.
Jokic doesn't want to be there. Carry on.
No, but maybe he's best friends with somebody on the team. I don't know.
If they own a horse.
The Bryce Harper storyline is like so cool. Bryce Harper is the dude that like you don't know how to describe. Like when my kids ask me about Bryce Harper one day, I'll stammer and stutter and try to find a good way to explain who Bryce Harper is.
He's like the LeBron James of baseball players.
But you can't hate him. Like people can hate on LeBron, and I guess I get it. I don't always get it, but I guess I can understand where people are coming from. How do you hate Bryce Harper? What has he done to be a hated dude?
They just hate him for what he did when he was 21.
When he tried to punch out Hunter Strickland, when he was a hothead who was the biggest name in baseball and he hadn't played 2 full seasons yet. Like, this guy
was the biggest name in baseball before he even played a game.
I think I said this last week, but this guy is everything he was supposed to be and more.
That's what I'm saying. Like, look, here's a guy that we were talking about as a high schooler, going to JUCO ball. He's LeBron James, but playing baseball.
Did you know he dropped out of high school?
He got his GED at like 16
to go to JUCO
to murder balls
so that he could go to the MLB that much quicker. Like, this is he was promised homeschooled. One. I'll ask you this. Bryce Harper gets a World Series this year. I had this thought earlier. Bryce Harper wins a World Series this year. Is he a unanimous first ballot Hall of Famer?
He's got 2 MVPs, Gold
Glove. 2 MVPs, couple Silver Sluggers, Gold Glove. Would then have a World Series ring. Remember, the last unanimous Hall of Famer was it Jeter?
Mariano Rivera. Jeter was 99%.
Mariano Rivera was the last unanimous Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
Not even Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah, Griffey Jr. was like 98%.
Griffey Jr. got nixed out because of some bad baseball writers. But I don't know if there's another player active in baseball right now that has the potential to be a first ballot unanimous Hall of Famer.
I don't think he'll get 100%, but he'll get 90 something.
I think if he gets a World Series ring, Cub, he has the potential to be the next unanimous Hall of Famer. I don't know that is Miguel Cabrera a guy that gets it. I don't like
Clayton Kershaw.
Do you think so? Even with all his postseason struggles,
he's got a ring.
Will some writers consider that a Mickey Mouse ring, right? Because it was the 2020 World Series. He has a ring. He performed well in that postseason. I just don't know. I don't know.
I mean, as somebody who gets pissed off when people say LeBron James's shortened or the bubble ring doesn't count, I think that's insanity. If you're playing a season, you're playing a season. Everyone had the same opportunities. It counts.
Yeah, I think with baseball and how often
I understand baseball
changes and shifts, like.
But I'm saying, say your favorite team won it. Say the Cubs won it in 2020. Would you be like, nah, that don't count?
I probably would have a little bit of like, I mean, it technically is like, but like I don't know.
Would Chicago treat it like that? No. Nope.
I don't know.
No.
That's a really tough hypothetical. I don't know what I would do. I don't think that I would put it. I don't think I would stand it as tall as the 2016 World Series. That's for sure.
Well, obviously.
But anyway, just the Phillies are so much fun to watch right now. Nick Castellanos' son, Liam, is probably cooler than you and I combined. I think Nick Castellanos himself is cooler than you and I combined.
He's got a shirt selling at the stadiums that he created.
What's the shirt? Oh, Liam. That's right. Liam made the shirt, right?
Yeah, Liam drew like his dad, and now they're selling them in the Castellanos section at the Phillies games. It's just like a crayon drawing or whatever.
Yeah.
It's the kind of drawing I would do during reading time, and I'd be just drawing the athletic.
But it's his dad in
Cincinnati,
isn't it? It's Castellanos from Cincinnati.
No, the jersey is red, so I didn't get the good look at what the shirt looks like. I just assumed. But I mean, if they're selling them at the bank, I don't think it's going to be him in Reds.
Anyway, I think we could probably wrap up baseball convo. I just want to say, for the love of God, if you are wise and smart and enjoy your mental state, stop challenging Phillies fans. Stop challenging Philadelphia fans in general. It did not play out well for Max Fried, and it was Spencer Strider. Spencer Strider didn't even specifically challenge the city of Philadelphia. He just said he'd be okay if fans weren't at games. And they roasted him for it when he pitched at the bank.
We want Strider.
Merrill Kelly is pitching in game 2 of the NLCS, and tonight said that he thinks it will pale in comparison to what he faced in the World Baseball Classic and, quote, doesn't think it'll be that loud. Hey, Merrill.
You're not in Arizona, buddy. You're
Dude,
not in Arizona.
Hey, I know you haven't pitched in a playoff game like this yet. He's pitched in a playoff game, but like that was LA. That was Arizona. This is Philly, dude. These people booed Santa Claus. It's going to be rough for Merrill Kelly tonight.
Stop. Those jokes are so overdone.
But I'm just saying, they
cheered for Trey Turner. Once they cheered and clapped for Trey Turner, that fan base in that city changed and turned over a new leaf.
They might be the most emotional.
They're gentle,
but they might be the most emotionally invested, right?
They might be the most emotionally intelligent fan base in sports.
I don't know about that because
no. Think about it. Marinate that thought, because what city? I'm doing my Trump hands again. What city has ever tried to pick up somebody that is in the depths of a slump or
None.
Just down? That's like if Chicago was like in the stands doing the Rudy for Justin Fields.
They tried like a couple weeks ago. They were like, we're just going to show up for Justin Fields and see what happens. And that was the Denver game. And Justin balled out. I don't know if the cheers actually happened or whatever, but Justin balled out and then they lost the game. I don't know, man. I just stop challenging Phillies fans. Stop challenging people from Philly. They're just built different. They're a different type of people.
Is the bank a place you'd want to go during the playoffs? Because every time I turn it on, I'm like, I wish I was there.
Yes, but I would make sure that I was wearing Philly gear. Even if I was going to watch my own team, I would be wearing that's something completely different because they are a ruthless brand of people.
Unless you're going to, I don't know, the South Side in Chicago, and you wear a different jersey that's not playing or whatever, you're a clown. I'm sorry. You're a clown. I hate that. I hate when people do that. I don't care how much of a fan you are. If you're not going to see that team, don't wear it.
Sure.
Unless you're going to a White Sox game, because they don't have fans.
They don't have a real MLB team either.
Nope.
So we are a third of the way through the NFL season, week 6 under our belts, 18-week season now.
Yes,
I figured it was a good time to check in and kind of do a categorization of
let's pump the brakes. We have to talk the biggest storyline. What are you doing? We have to talk about the industry plant that the NFL tried to grow last night, and the Monday night game. I didn't watch the Monday night game, but I saw the clips. I saw a Chargers fan, quote unquote. Those don't exist. I'm sorry. Those don't exist. They don't have fans. They got SoFi that no one goes. So the NFL was like, hey, what's a fan base that's struggling? Oh, the Chargers. We're going to put this woman on Monday night, and every time something happens, we're going to put the camera on her. And she happens to be in the most perfect spot for a camera to see her. Oh, okay. And now this woman is going to cheer like a weirdo and then say, get him when the Chargers are on offense.
Yeah. Marianne is the lady's name.
Marianne.
And apparently she's not a plant, and her and her husband get multiple cabana suites at Chargers games throughout the course of the year. I would not put it past the NFL to do some PR stuff like that, because at the end of the day, remember, like when it comes to the broadcasts and stuff, the NFL does have some say on what is shown and what is not.
That is her, Ryan, in a Minnesota Vikings jersey, and she's wearing purple paint on her face. Fake fan. There are no such thing as Chargers fans. No such thing. No such animal. They don't exist.
I don't know. I listened to her, and like the way that she was talking on the Pat McAfee show, she's like, I'm a crazy mama for crazy sports fan. I'm real crazy about my sports. I have people texting me being like,
a Midwest mom wrote that script for her. A Midwest mom script.
Well, maybe she's from Minnesota and she's an LA transplant now. Who knows? But You're right. That is the biggest story in the NFL right
So
now,
dumb.
unfortunately. That and the fact that apparently Taylor Swift has bought suites at Arrowhead Stadium for the remainder of the year. So get ready for that.
Did you see Lance Bass yesterday with the sheet of paper that said, "I'm not Taylor Swift," or "Sorry, I'm not Taylor Swift," or whatever?
I did not know.
Classic. Respect.
That is classic. So anyway, third of the way through the year,
Mm-hmm.
I figure it's time we rank some teams, trying to figure out. You had the comment when we were prepping for the show, like, I feel like there's a lot of teams that are tanking. A lot of teams that are just like,
it feels like it.
Yeah, well, and
Tank
maybe the allure of Caleb Williams is something that people are willing to tank for. And there's a lot of teams that are in quarterback purgatory. It just is a continuous thing. But I have 5 categories that we are going to place the 32 NFL teams in. The best category, number 1, is waiting for the playoffs. These are teams that like know they're going to get there, just have to get there. They're waiting for the playoffs. After that, we have teams that are actively trying. And below that, we have figuring things out. That's kind of like the middle, figuring things out. Below that,
it's complicated. It's complicated.
It's complicated. Okay, figuring things out / it's complicated. And then below that, I'm spelling complicated. Hold on.
Just ask Avril Lavigne.
Below that, we have actively trying, but not good at trying. And then the final tier is offensive to football.
Can we just start with offensive to football?
We sure can.
Okay, well, Bears.
Yes, the Chicago Bears, I would say, are an offensive to football team. If you want to start way down low.
Offensive to football, the Patriots. Actually, that could go above that. That is definitely actively
I was going to say, I think that they're trying. Yes, they're actively trying, but they're not good at trying. New England goes there.
You know what? We'll just put the Bears there because the Panthers is a whole different thing. I don't think they're offensive because sometimes they're fun.
I think Carolina is actively trying, but they're just not good at trying yet. You don't have Adam Thielen showing up every week the way that he does, putting his 33-year-old body on the line.
They're trying. They're trying.
So Carolina, even though they're the worst team record-wise in football right now, is just actively trying, but they're just not good at trying.
It don't mean anything. They got a youngin at quarterback. Another one, the Vikings, is actively trying, but suck at it.
Yes. Okay. All right. So we got the hang of this. I would like to slow things down for a second and just kind of categorically go through the division so that we don't miss anybody. Is that cool?
All right.
AFC East, the Dolphins, waiting for the playoffs.
Waiting for the playoffs.
The Bills. Waiting for the playoffs.
No, actively trying.
Really?
I don't think they're good. I think Josh Allen is bad this year.
I'm open to having my mind changed. If I say something, I'm open to having my mind changed. I would just like a little explanation.
I just think they've proven the last few weeks that they're losing to bad teams or mediocre teams. I don't think they're that good. And they got blown up by the Jags.
Yeah.
Sure, it was on the other side of the pond, but it's also a neutral sign.
All right. Then actively trying they go. The Jets.
Actively trying.
I would say it's complicated figuring things out because it's extremely complicated in New York. Are you kidding me?
When's Aaron coming back?
Oh my God. That's a storyline too right now. He's on his feet. He can walk. It's a month post-op. I'm pretty sure that you should be walking about now. Get the fuck out of here. The Patriots we listed. Going to the NFC North, the Ravens are actively trying.
Yeah, that whole I'm gonna say that whole division complicated.
I think, but Baltimore actively trying.
Yeah, they're actively trying.
The rest of it is it's complicated.
It's complicated.
Yeah, I agree.
The Bengals might not make the playoffs.
With the way that they're playing, yeah. I mean, and the Browns, they're going to be great if every single team they plays loses Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, and Trent Williams during the course of a game.
Yeah, a guy that incline benches 400 pounds. Yeah. You guys are good.
All right, so...
and that's his warm-up, by the way, Ryan. He warms up incline bench. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a monster man is what that is. He's a mountain. AFC South is fun. The Jaguars are actively trying. But are they good at trying?
I would say Texans are actively trying. And
Okay,
the rest.
but remember, we have the added thing of are they good at trying?
But here's the thing. Like, there's a difference between that because they're a young team with a quarterback that's just got drafted and a whole bunch of other stuff. They're young, new head coach. Everything's fresh. So, like, them actively trying looks good. It doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad.
What if I said not good at trying yet? Would that change your mind?
I don't know. I would say no because they were regarded as one of the worst teams in football preseason. They look phenomenal.
They actually look really good. And a lot of that is on the back of CJ Stroud.
Oh, imagine if we had that.
Imagine. Imagine.
It would look like crap.
It would. Thank you. And see, and there's intelligence coming through for Kobe Marshall here. The Colts actively trying.
They're done. They're done. Anthony
offensive
Richardson's
to football.
No,
that's what I was gonna put them actively trying, but not good at trying.
I would put figuring it out because they have a full season left. They have Gardner Minshew as the backup. It's like a I don't even know how to word it. It's like a get right season for next year. We'll put them as an asterisk. We'll put asterisks. Just an asterisk. The Titans, offensive to football. Offensive to football.
They're not offensive, that's for sure. They're just offensive. Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine being DeAndre Hopkins and saying, "That's where I want to go end my career." Hold on. I'm sorry.
The AFC West is where we get to have some fun too. The Chiefs are waiting for the playoffs.
Yes.
The Raiders.
Sorry. Broncos, offensive to football.
Yeah.
The Chargers. Oh God, actively trying but not good at it. I would say I honestly, I must be dumb, which I am. I didn't know the Raiders were 3-3. I thought they were like 1 and whatever.
Yeah, the Raiders. Where do they find their wins? I don't even know.
I would just put good at trying.
Good at trying. So actively trying then.
Yeah, actively trying. All right, NFC time.
The Eagles actively waiting for the playoffs. Yeah.
Cowboys, I guess, actively waiting for the playoffs too.
Are they?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you where to put them. I put it's complicated.
I'm thinking 4-2.
Giants easily trying
Hold
but
on,
suck
I'm
at
still
it.
I'm still on fucking Dallas. I'm still thinking about Dallas.
Sorry.
Thank you, Shakira.
Shakira.
Yeah, I guess we'll put Dallas in. It's complicated because it is. If I'm sitting here thinking that long, it is complicated. The Giants, yes, offensive to football. Washington,
the Commanders
actively trying. They're not good at it.
But they're 3-3, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
with wins over the Bears. I think the Giants,
huge wins. Huge
and
wins.
I don't know who else.
If you ask some Bears fans, that's the hardest win to have in the season.
Their wins are over the Cardinals, Broncos, and Falcons. They lost to the Bears. Sorry, they lost to the Bears. That was the Bears' only win. I think that they're actively trying. They're just not good at it.
Yeah, you can put that. Let's see. NFC West. 49ers waiting for the playoffs. Seahawks, I would put them
actively trying.
Rams, figuring things out.
Yeah.
Cardinals, they're not offensive to football because they're covering machines. Put them above. Put them in actively trying, but not good.
Yep.
NFC North.
Picking up steam here. Picking up steam.
Yeah. Lions, playoffs.
Waiting for the playoffs.
Packers and Vikings can go in actively trying, but not good.
Yep. We already said the Bears are offensive to football.
NFC South to close it out. You got the Buccaneers.
The NFC South leading Tampa Bay Buccaneers, mind you.
I'm going to say playoffs.
Yeah?
Because hear me out. Now, people listening probably, what do you mean? That team sucks. This was another team that people had going winless, or one of the worst teams in the NFL, and they have proven that they're coherent. And Baker Mayfield deserves some respect.
Sure.
Moving on.
Playoffs.
Playoffs.
Falcons actively trying. I think the rest, because we already have Carolina categorized as actively trying, but not good.
I agree.
Falcons Saints both going actively trying.
I like this segment. I like this a lot. This is fun.
NFC West. We did that. Oh, we did them all.
Yeah, we did them all. We're all done.
Oh, good. Okay. So the only teams that we can categorically say are good: Miami, Kansas City, Philly, San Francisco, Detroit, and Tampa Bay.
Yeah!
Actively trying teams after this thought process: Buffalo, Baltimore, Houston, Vegas, Seattle, Atlanta, and New Orleans. Figuring things out, but it's complicated. Jets, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Cincy, Dallas, and the Rams. Actively trying, but not good at trying: New England, Carolina, Minnesota, the Chargers, Washington, Arizona, Green Bay. That's by far the biggest category that we had. Actively trying, but not good. And offensive to football: Chicago, Tennessee, Denver, and the Giants.
You know, this was one of our first interactive segments, and I really liked it, and I really enjoyed it. But guess what? We also have another one, Ryan.
Yeah, this is
another one.
This is interesting. I think we check in another 6 weeks, and I'll keep this list and just see where we are and how wrong we were today. Oh, also, Indianapolis is the asterisk team. We don't know where to put them.
Oh,
remember that. Indy is the asterisk.
Don't forget it. And don't forget it.
It was a weird week for the Pac-12. USC lost. Oregon lost a heartbreaker to Washington. And it's just kind of been a funky week for the conference that's undoubtedly the best in college football this year. So I thought after this funky week, it'd be nice to power rank the top 6 teams in the Pac-12, starting from 6, going to 1. Colby, I think we'll both have the same number 6 here in UCLA.
Yeah, 100%. Easy. 6, UCLA.
There's not really anything about them that sticks out to you, though they're not bad. They probably, get a bowl game.
Ranked 25th.
Yeah, they probably get a bowl game, but will it be, the Duke's Mayo Bowl, or I don't think they get a New Year's
Hey,
6.
watch out! Watch
out! Number 5 on my list is Oregon State.
I got them higher,
and I have Oregon State at 5 just because I haven't watched a ton of Oregon State yet this year.
Though
good. I know that they have that pop, they got that juice to them. But without doing the homework necessary to rank them higher, they're my number 5 right now.
I have Utah at number 5. They go up against USC this week and still have a chance to beat USC. I could move them up to 4 if they get it done this week, but I don't know. USC's coming off a loss to Notre Dame. Will they be amped up and ready to go against Utah, who has a great defense? And wait, who's home? Actually, who is home? I think USC is home. Hold on. USC is at home. Okay.
At home against Utah.
Okay, they're at home. That's if it was in Utah, I'd be all over Utah. But in this, I would say right now, I think USC wins this game and covers. Number 4 is USC. I don't
really.
I think they're overrated. Their defense is horrendous. They are bottom half of the country. Their defensive categories, I think they're all in the hundreds or the 90s. You could double check me, but I know they're in the hundreds and 90s. Caleb Williams can't play in the Midwest. So if you're a Midwest NFL team, do not take Caleb Williams. He does not want to be out there. He wants to be in the Bears. He is not a Bear. I don't want him as a Bear. I'm good. The Bears will definitely draft him now because
my number's 4. My number 4 is Utah, just based off of defense. But you had more to say about Caleb. My bad.
Caleb Williams is not going to win Heisman again. After last week, he looked terrible against a coherent defense. I think he struggles somewhat against Utah, but again, he is still good, and he will be at home, and he will be comfortable. Number 4. Number 3, Oregon State.
Okay.
A more complete team than USC. They have a good defense. DJ Ukulele. Ukulele.
DJ plays the ukulele.
Having a better season than I thought he would. It's probably because he's not in that terrible Clemson offense anymore. That looks like crap. If you haven't seen him play, they run the same plays every single drive. They look like crap. Take it away, Ryan.
Colby, I don't know if you know this or not, but Dabo is keeping receipts. He doesn't want any bandwagon.
I will print this out and laminate it for him.
My number 3 is Oregon, just because I think that they've been really good this year. Listen, I still have faith in USC, is why Oregon comes in at 3. I think Oregon's been very, very good this year. They lose a heartbreaker to Washington. I think that Dan Lanning has had this team operating really, really well, especially the defense. And Bo Nix is a Heisman candidate this year. But I have them 3 because I still have faith in USC and because they lost to Washington, or else they might be higher on this list.
Number 2 is Washington. Obviously, they have the number 1 frontrunner Heisman candidate, Michael Penix Jr. I think the win last week over Oregon is slightly overrated. I don't think they should have won. Obviously, I think that's on Oregon's shoulders. Their defense isn't that great. Obviously, Oregon's didn't look that great either. But I don't know. I'm not fully sold, and I don't know why. I like this team, but I don't know why I'm fully sold. Obviously, you know who my number 1 is. It's because I think Dan Lanning is putting together something special. Maybe it's something special that won't happen until next season.
Right.
Also, Bo Nix on the road last week didn't look awful, and we all know he sucks on the road. Oregon,
my number 2 is USC. Just because I still believe in that team. I still believe in what Caleb Williams can do. He's a special player. He's somebody that NFL teams are clamoring for a specific reason, and that's because of his ability to extend, his ability to throw the deep ball, make big plays happen. He just has all the raw tools in the world. And so I think that, it's only one loss. It's a bad loss to a not a great team, but they schemed him well. And now that there's that tape out there, it's possible that USC falls a lot further down these power rankings, at least for me, if they continue to lose, if Caleb Williams continues to struggle against the blitz. But that all remains to be seen. If you talked about this, I think a week ago, USC is probably 1. But because Washington has really come up strong and really, beat a great Oregon team, albeit, with, some extra time on their hands, they are my number 1. Washington is my number 1, but USC still hanging in there. They're still, in the driver's seat, even though they're now 18th in the country. They're still in the driver's seat in terms of the Pac-12. And so for me, from 1 to 6, it's Washington, USC, Oregon, Utah, Oregon State, UCLA.
Oregon, Washington, Oregon State, USC, Utah, UCLA.
UCLA is the worst of the 6, not the worst in the league, but the worst of the 6. Notice neither one of us talked about Colorado. That ship sank.
Also, can I just say I had Stanford money line on Friday. Also,
but did you live bet it?
No, had it before. This was not a bet. This was a friend. This was a group chat ride. Nate Jacobson, who I do stadium bets with on Stadium every week. He goes, other guys were like, he's like, I'm going to use this boost and put it on the money line. And we're like, I'm just going to take the points. He goes, you won't need the points. This is before they went down 29-0.
Wow. Called a shot.
He pulled that thing out, put it on the table.
So, if you took that at half, if you took the 29-0 Stanford money line, I would love to know what you got as a line.
I think it was like plus 2,500.
2,500?
I saw somebody have it at 2,500.
Imagine putting anything substantial down and like the winnings, dude.
I live bet the Jaguars against the Chargers in the playoffs last year at halftime.
They were down big, weren't they? They were down like 3 touchdowns.
I bet the money line. That was a great day. You can't. It's not. I think you'd be a terrible coach if your team comes out flat in the second half, down that much. It's not like it's impossible. They put up 29 points. You can put up 29 points and a half.
Yeah, and then they did that and more.
Yeah, and they looked unbelievable.
Yeah. This is, again, a team that currently is second to last in the Pac-12 that came out and looked unbelievable against the team that everybody's got the hots for.
Yeah.
But
also, the team below them, Arizona State. People out there that gamble, you're going to want to take Arizona State on the spread this week because guess who they play, Ryan?
Washington.
They play Washington, and what did Washington do after they won?
What did they do?
The quarterback cried, and they stormed the field. Automatic fade.
Ooh.
Penix cried, stormed the field.
Also, Desmond Howard called him big penis energy.
Oh, he did.
Big penis energy. Big
on national television.
Dog.
Now, I say Michael Penis Jr. as a joke, but I'm not going to say that on this podcast. That would be disrespectful.
It was nuts that, though, we didn't get a real opportunity last week to say the big penis energy versus big Nick's energy was getting ready to take over the TV.
How did Desmond say that? How?
I don't know. Silly Desmond Howard.
This was fun. This felt great.
Yeah.
Episode 149. We're almost at 150.
150, baby.
Who would have thought?
Not me. I don't.
Well, hey, it was great seeing you guys. You can follow us everywhere at Call Podcast. Anywhere you have a social media that isn't like Facebook or whatever, you can find us on X, where the cool kids are.
Realistically, you can find us on Instagram and X, and that's it. At Call Podcast. You can find me Instagram and X. Ryan Sartori _radio. That's Colby Marcio, and you can find him.
Yeah, 3 Colby on Instagram, and right there it says C_MARCHIO2 on X. Also,
you really gotta line your handles up.
No. Don't tell me what to do. Have a good day.
All I got is missed calls on my line, yeah, never